All right. I think I'm going. Let's start with the first question. Was this your first time figure drawing or studying the human figure? Yes. I've drawn skeletons and I've drawn, you know, people, but not anatomically correct. I learned from taking this class I was very wrong. So, this is my first time doing it accurately and actually learning the correct proportions and all that stuff. So, yes. What are your favorite things you learned? My favorite thing that we learned was definitely the bones. That was just so interesting to me, and I'm gonna talk about this later on in the questions, but it's so interesting in general to just learn about the things that are underneath our skin. And it's kind of cool seeing, like, when you draw out the bones and then you draw out the muscles on top of the bones, it's just cool seeing the figure come together just with the muscles and stuff. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. Which part was the most challenging and why? I definitely had a hard time with the muscles. I don't really know why, but I did. Just the proportions and remembering them was hard. I didn't have as hard of a time remembering the names of the bones and stuff like that, but the muscles definitely, I definitely had a hard time with those. Which projects are you proud of? Okay, I I love my bone drawings. Those are like, I think I did really good on those and I had the most fun doing those. I think just because that was what I enjoyed the most out of all of it. And honestly, I may have enjoyed that the most because I was good at that and I wasn't as good as at the muscles. But and then I guess I'm gonna play the video now. I'm not really a fan of my it's a minute long because I didn't shorten it, but I didn't do very good on this, and you'll see in a second right now. Yep, that's pretty rough. It's not, I don't think it's that bad. I just, my lines were way too long or big, and I should have gone back after I finished it and redid it with smaller lines, but I didn't, and um, it looks like this now, and I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is. So, all right, hurry up. I think I did pretty good on like the head and stuff. I enjoyed that, which I've drawn a bunch of heads and faces. So that wasn't the most difficult. Are there any tools or tricks you liked and used within Photoshop's interface? Not really. I like what's the word? My workflow has become faster and I've gotten more used to organizing my layers and just knowing which tools to use, and I've just gotten a lot quicker and a lot more comfortable with it, which I'm glad because, it's not that easy. Um, how do you think a knowledge of human proportions and anatomy will help you in the future? It's just something that all artists should know, and I feel like anatomy goes into or can be incorporated into everything and anything, and it's just a very good thing to know. So, and obviously, I want to do character and environment, I think, uh, design. So, I'm obviously going to have to know the anatomy and how to draw a character if I'm going to design characters. Next one. Did I skip one? Okay. Is there anything you found interesting in the figure drawing experience? Um, Well, in the experience itself, I didn't know I was going to suck so bad at muscles. That was interesting to me. But in the learning and just like I said earlier, just drawing, starting out with nothing and then creating the bones and then the muscles on top of the bones and seeing the form take shape and come to life was very cool to me. And then the next two, what are your thoughts on the skeletal and musculature forms of the torso, arms, and legs? How did it feel studying hands and feet? The forms and structures of the head and face, the figure in motion. All of it was very cool to learn, the technical stuff and the correct proportions, and I enjoyed drawing all of them. My hand drawings were pretty okay, I guess. My feet were okay too, and I thought hands were going to be a lot more difficult. I it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be when I was looking at the references and stuff. Um, and same with feet and the face and all that. Last one. What are your thoughts on Adobe Premiere Pro? How is it similar or different to Photoshop? I feel like everything in the Adobe world is kind of similar. Like they have the same vibe, and I mean, all I did was edit my pictures together, and I didn't have a hard time doing that. So I think it's pretty similar in the sense that there's a lot to it, and there's gonna be a lot to learn if I want to get good at it. And it's obviously different because I don't think you can edit videos in Photoshop. So that's all. I hope I did everything. Adios.